Remember when you said I was likable?
Are you about to brag about injuring 2 of my players and talking shit online for, like, the entire game?
Hey man, I just want you to start taking me more seriously as a rival.
If you want me to take you more seriously, then be better at hockey.
Oh please, I am more good at hockey than you.
Oh, come on. You've done, like, one thing in your entire existence.
Oh, that one thing? What was that? Sweeping Tampa Bay out of the playoffs? Tell me, when's the last time you beat Tampa Bay in a playoff series?
Well, you're definitely a lot less likable now. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team, that is a dub! Again! God, I love saying that. And I don't want to get all mathematical on you, but I've gotten to say that 17 times in the last 21 game review videos. That is pretty good. We have gone 17-3-1 over our last 21. I think that math adds up. That means we have gotten a 35 points out of the last 42 available. Dude, this team's so good. This team's so good. And is it all hunky-dory? No, there's a couple things that I'm kind of... And yeah, maybe we've been beating up on some lesser teams lately, but you beat who's in front of you. And it is remarkable how this team just continues to beat them. Other teams, other top contenders, are still having moments where they're getting blown out by lesser teams. It's still happening. We haven't really faced that in a while. We've gotten blown out by good teams, but the lesser teams we've basically just smoked for the most part. I'm sure, I mean, you'll point out some stuff to me, but lately, it's all B's, baby. I don't know what you want from me. You got to be pretty happy with it. We have a stretch coming up. I'm just saying this now. We can say it later in the video, but we have a stretch coming up. We have, 13 games left, something like that, and 8 or 9 of them are against playoff teams or playoff caliber teams. We're going to learn a lot about this team. But going into those games, you have to feel pretty damn good, right? There's just no reason to be too down on the team. You can be skeptical, fine. Be negative, all you want. I'm having way too much time being kind of positive about how good this team is in close games. We keep winning close games, which is impressive. And overall, we're just pulling out wins. And usually we deserve them. There's not a lot to say pregame on this team. We just played them on Saturday. We won. It was a tightly contested, tightly fought game. Final score was not. It was 5-2 final, but it was a 3-2 game, really. Take away the empty netters. We're going to face Merzlikins again. Damn it. The guy plays against us so well. He had another great night. Ullmark is going to get the start on our side. With a good showing here in my head, I figured he would have leapfrogged Swayman as your starter. I think he did well enough to be considered your starter moving forward because Swayman's taking a step back. That's fine. We're going to figure that out by the playoffs, hopefully. God, we're going to figure that out. The only main change in lines is Riley Brown is your third pair with Riley back on the left side because they did not like what they saw from him on the right side. Brown, they're going to give another go. I expect that to be a carousel for a little while until they solidify something. They played well. I thought for the most part, the team played poorly in the first. There were some miscommunications, but defensively, structurally, I wasn't upset. That's really all my pregame notes. I didn't expect this game to get as chippy as it did. It turned into a dogfight. It turned aggressive, and some people got hurt. We'll talk about that. But puck drops, and 33 seconds in, we win a faceoff in our zone to the left of Ullmark. And Lindholm, who actually had the first fully bad period I've seen from him in a Bruins sweater, first period was bad for him, mishandles the puck, puts it right in front of Ullmark. Nyquist jumps in, gets a free bid. Ullmark stones him 5-hole. We keep talking about how we need to see him just keep that 5-hole tight, and he's been doing that. So you got to give him credit there. But that does mean we have to wait a few minutes for the first goal. 4:31 in. Grizz bobbles a neutral zone puck. It gets away from on the wall, actually gets punched out. Bamstrom comes, collects, and he looks like he's going to be able to go in for a breakaway, but there's enough pressure from the other defender on the right side from Carlo that he just forces himself a little wide. Ullmark attacks at not the perfect angle, but let's be honest. This was a hell of a shot. Beats him short side, top corner, top glove, hell of a shot, off the stick in a hurry. Was Ullmark's positioning perfect? Absolutely not. But there's not a lot of goalies who are making this save. My God. It's 1-0. We're 5 minutes in. Nobody's worried. Nobody's fucking worried. Come on. Whereas Leakins has been great. He's stopping the puck like crazy. We assume we're going to deal with that. But we're not getting shut out by the fucking Jackets, man. No one's worried. We're going to get a power play, but 5:30 in. Anytime I bring up a power play to you in this video, it was awful. It was the worst power play you'd ever seen. Each time was worse. Anyway, 30 seconds in, McAvoy's called for holding. That negates it, so whatever. We're going to have another 10 seconds was taken off just to collect the puck. $1.20 of 4v4, tons of 4v4 in this game, and then we're going to go to the penalty kill. We kill it. Fine. 5:16 left in the period. Freddie, Voracek are going to go for roughing calls. These refs had their feelings fucking hurt, man. They took two players every opportunity they could, and they did one thing that is becoming, like, it's a cardinal sin at this point, what they're doing. We're going to get there. We're going to go to 4v4 for, like, 2 seconds. And then Marchand, literally 2 seconds into this 4v4, gets called for an incredibly soft interference call off of a faceoff, where he basically just pushes by the opposing player, but they're going to call him for it. Marchand is, he's under a microscope, but it's weird. He's getting manhandled out there. Can't draw a call. Anything he does is a call, except for one massive hit in this game that we're going to talk about. 1:28 left in the period, and we finally get a break, or not. I'm not really sure. This is what we're going to talk about. Marchand comes through and crashes into Peak. Peak was down the right side, went to push the puck farther down. Puck was on his stick. All right, that's legal to hit him. Marchand comes in. He comes in a little hot, and he gets him. To me, this is how it looked. With the speed of the play, it looks like he gets him shoulder, head. He goes backwards. It looks like a dirty hit. When you slow it down, Peak turns his body the last second. Marchand gets right into the chest, and then the head. Does he lift a little bit? I think so. Do his skates completely leave the ice? One of them does. The other does not. This is not a suspendable hit. This is one where you would look at and go, oof, that's a big hit. If Peak doesn't change his positioning, it's shoulder to shoulder. We talk about that all the time. This looked like a legal hit to me. It looked like a bad result that didn't even end up being a bad result because Peak played the rest of the game. But at the time, Peak goes down. The Blue Jackets stop playing, but the play doesn't get stopped. McAvoy gets the puck, whips it to DeBrusk, who's behind the defense. It's a great pass. DeBrusk in all alone on Merzlikins. Where's Leakins? And just beats him. Low blocker. 1-0. And everyone's pissed in the arena, which I would be too. I get it. Because it looks like your guy just went down for a dirty hit. When you break it down, it just doesn't seem like a dirty hit to me. Some people wanted to call it boarding. Fine. Like it was a missed boarding call. That was not a dirty hit. Here's the cardinal sin. Voracek, because he's fucking livid, is screaming at these refs. He's pissed. He's red-faced. He's angry. He got veins. And they give him a 10-minute misconduct because their feelings got hurt. Now, maybe he crossed a line, but this is the second time in just a couple games, I can't remember if it happened last game or the game before, that we have seen a player get a game misconduct, a 10-minute misconduct, for yelling at a ref. Maybe in each circumstance, they crossed a line and said something you really shouldn't. But we're watching these past few games, the refs now giving coincidentals to players, offsetting 4v4s over and over again when situations are calling for one guy to go. Like clearly, McAvoy getting cross-checked in the mouth and then getting sent to the box. I mean, that was ridiculous. I mean, you're going to see it later in this game too. Like, They keep going to 4v4 instead of doing their job and calling the guy who did the penalty. And now you're also, when a player gets upset at you, just 10 minutes? 10 minutes? I don't get it. And it feels, I'm not the one to use the word soft too often. It feels like the refs are being fucking soft on this one. That's an opposing player, and I'm arguing his case. Again, maybe he crossed the line. And if that comes out, people will yell at me like, "Ugh." I don't know what he said. But I can tell you one thing, it's pretty fucking weird to get a penalty for yelling. I mean, we're a grown man. Tell the guy to fuck off and skate away. You're the ref. You can do that. Period's going to end 1-1. Right before the period ends, this is how you know the game's just going to get worse, is Bjorkstrand takes a run at Bergie. This team, the Boston Bruins, do not react well when you take a run at Bergie. So they came out the next period, and they went to hit everybody. And it was awesome. This game was super fun. Second period starts. We are killing off the rest of a Foligno trip. Doesn't really matter. We kill it. 2:25 in. Oof. Hall gets bludgeoned in the mouth with a cross check. We are going to get a 4-minute power play for a high stick. It looked like a cross check to me. It was awful. We are 1 minute and 30-something seconds in, and we have not gotten a shot on net. They've had the puck more than we have, and Lindholm is going to get called for holding. Another softie, but it is what it is. It was a holding call. 2 minutes at 4v4. We're going to go back to the power play for 20 seconds. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. Just about 8 minutes into the period, though. It's a tie game in the third line. Oh, my God. I'm going to spoil it now. Freddie had an injury. We're not sure what's going on. Didn't return to the game. Upper body. We'll talk about it after. But I'm bummed. I can't believe I'm this bummed. Obviously, I hate it when our players get injured. Can't believe I'm this bummed about a bottom six injury. But the third line's been so good. So good. And this is just classic shot, puck retrieval. Shot, puck retrieval. Coyle's doing the main amount of work. But Freddie's making good plays, getting into spaces, using his muscle. And then Smith is just ready. Always ready. Looking for open space. This comes to its peak when Coyle is up with a keep-in on the left point. And he draws two defenders. And he squeezes down that left wall, just squeezes through, gets around him enough, almost loses the puck, but doesn't, moves its way into the slot, is fighting with the defender for the puck, but pushes it to Smith. And Smith, high slot, surveys the scene, and all the players back away from him. It was weird. It was wicked weird. So he just takes it and snaps this low blocker, and that's 2-1, just like that. And it was a beautiful sequence, the whole sequence of the Coyle line, the sequence line, whatever you want to call them. Oh, it was beautiful. Oh, I hope Freddie's not out for long, because that line was just humming. 6 minutes left. Peak goes after Marchand in a scrum, post-whistle. And DeBrusque already has a goal, by the way. Flies in, mitts up, and just goes right after him. That is a response we just so seldom see from Jake DeBrusque. In this whole game, he chased pucks harder. He was fast on his feet. He was confident in his decision-making. I am critical of this player all the time. I have also always been a fan. I've tried to walk that line with him. But when trade deadline came, I said, he's got to go. It's not going to work. I don't know, man. It's working right now. It's working right now. And that response was exactly what you like to see. Weird thing about this scrum, Jake DeBrusque doesn't go to the box. They're going to do 4v4. They're still going to take Marchand. Even though he didn't fucking do anything. He got pounded in the back of the head. Weird. 28 seconds into the 4v4, Pasta is going to take a tape to taper from Corrali, who just gives it to him. Don't know what happened here, but Corrali now has to hook him to prevent the scoring chance. So it's going to be 4v3 for about $1.30. And it sucked. I hate it. I hate this stupid top 10 in the league power play unit. I hate it. I don't know how we're number 6 in the league, maybe 7 now after this game, in percentages, because we always seem to be really bad and give up a lot of chances the other way. I just don't understand where have the goals come? I just don't remember them. I don't know. I'm being overly critical of this, but I don't like a power play unit. And I don't understand how it's top 10. I just don't understand it. I mean, the best chance of the 4v3 was Gavrikov on Olmark, like alone in the slot. And huge save, just a huge save. Olmark made a few game changers in this one. Gavrikov wasn't done though. 15 seconds left of the period. Yeah, that's right, another late one. Knocks down a high clear from Hall on the blue line, gets it back down the ice. It's going to get to Voracek, who circles back, just backward skating around the net, but right before he cuts the angle too close and is fully shielded by the net, he whips this cross diagonal through the crease. I'm stumbling on my words here, but you know what I'm saying. Cross diagonal through the crease, and I don't even remember who this was. Who got this? Who got this? Who got this? Werenski, of course it was Werenski. Jesus Christ, that guy's so good at hockey. Werenski accepts it. Olmark spins and whips that glove up but can't get it. Beats him high glove. That's 2-2. Bruce challenges the keep in. Thought it was a high stick. Too close to call. Really tough to call. And the refs were right by standing with whatever call they made on the ice. Obviously this wouldn't have been challenged if it had been called the other way because there would have been no reason. But regardless, if you were challenging either way, they would have gone with the call on the ice. It was that close. Third period hits. We still got to kill off another $1.45 of the penalty kill for the failed challenge. We do that. Freddie took a big hit in the second, would not return to the game. We've sort of touched on that. 4 minutes in, Peak gets Marchie in the face with his glove. Roughing power play. Kind of a weak call here. I actually didn't like it. I thought the result of Marchand falling down was more of what got the call. Yeah, he got him a little high, but Marchand's head was low. I don't know. It didn't feel like the spirit of the rule. It was a fun 46 seconds on this power play. 2 terrible turnovers. Pasta hurt somewhere on the play. Not even sure exactly what happened, but he goes down the tunnel and doesn't return. And then a breakaway for Nyquist, where Bergeron has to hook him to prevent the scoring chance. So we're going to go to 4v4 for $1.14, and then we're going to have to deal with a penalty kill for 46 seconds. Kill it. So it's fine. It's fine. Stupid game. What a stupid power play unit. I hate it. So we're going to overtime, 2-2. And this is bad puck management by the Blue Jackets. And Lindholm gets to just snag this puck off the blue line. It's a poor pass. He just goes down. It's 3-on-1. Chucks it to DeBrusk on the right dot. Fans on his first shot. But the second shot he makes contact with, it beats Merzlikins. Good to go. That's a dub. 2 for Jakey. Game notes. Jake DeBrusk now has a 5-game scoring streak and has 6 goals in those 5 games. I said you have to get rid of him because he is going to cost us a series as a top-line winger when he falls off and you try to shuffle someone else into the position. Do I still somewhat believe that he's going to cool off and it's going to shake him and we're going to get what we've had with DeBrusk, which when he's cold, he's real cold? Yeah, I think that's still very possible. But just like I said after the Toronto game, or after the Devils game really, is that's the best response you can get after getting your teeth kicked in the game before. This is the best response you can get to the trade deadline where he didn't get what he wanted. So you have to be optimistic about it. I was very vocal about getting rid of DeBrusk. I want to be very clear about that. I don't want to change history here. People should know that my takes are terrible. I don't know what's happening, but he's skating hard. He's getting a little lucky in some circumstances, but he's also making his luck in others. And working with Marchand and Bergeron, if he can hold water up there, which he absolutely has been doing more than just holding water, keep him there and see how far this can take you. Because right now we have 3 bona fide lines, or did. The biggest concern out of this game, even if we lost this game, who gives a shit at this point? Pasta and Freddie. Those are 2 massive pieces right now. Pasta for obvious reasons, but that third line was what made this team dangerous over the past 2 months, 3 months even. Like that's the difference maker for this team right now, is that we had bottom 6 scoring. And if we go back to not having bottom 6 scoring, we're just another really good defensive team that can't put the puck in the net enough. Or we only roll one line or whatever it is. That's a scary thought. And Freddie, as much as I said that he's the passenger on this line, he's also the best fit for it to be what it needs to be. Is he the third most important guy in the line? Sure. But he's still part of that line. I'm concerned. And I think that's the biggest thing all of us should be waiting for is the news on these injuries. Last negativity bit. Last minute goals and periods. feel like they sink this team, because they do, that in the playoffs will end a playoff run. The momentum in playoff games is so important. And getting scored on in the final minute or first minute of a period is brutal. Brutal for confidence. I don't know what it is. Is it just bad luck where when they happen to be scoring, it just happens to be late in the periods? I don't know. I don't see us playing all that much differently. It used to be a, hey, we get in a shell kind of thing. I haven't seen that. I really don't know what the answer is there, but it's definitely scary, right? Right? All right, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Detroit tomorrow night. That should be fun, at least. We should win that one, too. And then we have Tampa on Friday, which is a huge one. So, I mean, strap in. This is still a dogfight in the Atlantic. Let's fucking go. Go Bees!